Non-finite forms of verbs. There are three kinds of non-finites: the infinitive, present and perfect; the participle, present and past; the gerund, verbal, noun. The non-finites of the verb be are to be, to have been, being, been. The infinitive. The infinitive is the first principal part of the verb. It is usually introduced by to sell, to buy, to speak, to write. The sign of the infinitive may be omitted after may, can, shall, will, must, and dare, hear, feel, see, make, bid. Study the following sentences. To err is human. To respect our teachers is our duty. We are pledged to root out evils. Children love to dance. In sentence 1, the infinitive, to err, like a noun, is the subject of the verb is. In sentence 2, the infinitive, to respect, like a noun, is the subject of the verb is, but like a verb, it also takes an object, our teachers. In sentence 3, the infinitive, to root out, like a noun, is the object of the verb pledged, but like a verb, it also takes an object, evils. In sentence 4, the infinitive, to dance, like a noun, is the object of the verb love. Thus, it will be seen that the infinitive does the work of a noun, for it can be the subject of a verb and the object of a transitive verb. So, the infinitive is a verb noun. The tense and voice forms of the infinitive are tense, active, passive; present, to sell, to buy; to be sold, to be bought; perfect, to have spoken, to have been spoken; to have written, to have been written. The infinitive is a verbal noun. It is primarily used as the subject of a finite verb, as to have patience is good, to hurt others is wrong, to gamble is bad, to find fault is easy. These sentences look awkward. It is better to use preparatory it as the subject in each sentence. Serial number: it plus to be, subject complement, subject. 1. It is good to have patience. 2. It is wrong to hurt others. 3. It is bad to gamble. 4. It is easy to find fault. The infinitive may be used to qualify a noun, as I have no friend to depend on. This is not the time to play. She likes cold coffee to drink. I have no money to buy a scooter. The infinitive may be used to qualify verb or an adjective, as some live to eat. They went to fish. English is easy to learn. The story was interesting to read. Pattern 1. Noun infinitive. To forgive is divine. To desert others is bad. To deceive a friend is a sin. To find fault is easy. To earn money is good. Pattern 2. Qualifying infinitive. I have no friend to depend on. This is the time. To cheer up. Some lived to eat. They went to fish. Pattern 3. Qualifying infinitive. I would like you to stay here. We requested her to sing. The doctor advised me to avoid fast food. Pattern 4. Plain infinitive. I heard him whistle. He saw her cross the road. He bade me stay there. The infinitive without to. The infinitive to may be omitted after the following verbs: bid, dare, feel, hear, let, make, need, see, watch, help, have, may, can, shall, will, must. I bid you do it. I dare not show disrespect to my parents. I heard him clap. She felt somebody touch her purse. Money makes the mare go. You need not come here tomorrow. Let the child play alone. We watched them lift the parcels. Note: to is not omitted when the above-mentioned verbs except let are used in the passive voice, as he was heard to sing. He was seen to write a letter. He was made to work for the master. Exception: they were let go. In affirmative sentences, to is generally used after the verb dare, as he dared to take big risk. He dared to walk on the snow. Had better, had rather, had sooner, would rather, as you had better revise your lesson. I had rather stay here. I prefer to stay here. They had sooner walk than ride. They prefer walking to riding. She would rather starve than beg. To before the infinitive is omitted after than and after but in the sense of except, as he did no more than cry. She did nothing but smile. The forms of the infinitive. The infinitive has two main forms, present and perfect. The present infinitive can be used with any tense of the finite verb, as I love to stay alone. They wished to buy a new house. Shall I go to open the shop? The infinitive perfect denotes a time that is antecedent to that of the governing verb, as he appears to have been ill. It appears now that he was ill before this. The participle. The participle is a word formed from a verb but functions as an adjective. It is a verbal adjective. The tense and voice forms of the participle are tense, active, passive, present, singing, writing, being sung, being written, past, sung, written, perfect, having sung, having been sung, having written, having been written. The present participle is formed by adding ing to the verb, as singing, writing, swimming, seeing, speaking. The past participle is formed by adding d, ed, t, en, ne to the verb, as bathed, broken, killed, burned, risen, born. The perfect participle is formed by adding having or having been before the past participle form of verb, as having finished their work, they went to the pictures. The present participle is always active. It denotes an unfinished action, as we saw a deer running in the forest. They were having their breakfast. The past participle indicates an action that is already completed, as we carried the wounded to the hospital. Paralyzed, he fell unconscious. The perfect participle denotes an action which was completed at some time past, as having stolen his watch, he left the place. Having heard the good news, he began to dance. Note, the participle is used to form various tenses. The participle is commonly used as an adjective. As an adjective, it may be used attributively as once bitten is twice shy. Barking dogs seldom bite. Predicatively as they came laughing. TB is a consuming disease. Absolutely with a noun or pronoun placed before it as weather permitting, we shall play tomorrow. God willing, we shall win. We found them quarreling with one another. Correct use of participles. Whenever a participle is used, the noun or pronoun to which it refers must also be mentioned as walking through the desert, the sun was very hot. Incorrect. Walking through the desert, I found the sun very hot. Correct. Arriving late, the train had already left. Incorrect. Arriving late, he found that the train had already left. Correct. Being fine, we went out for a picnic. Incorrect. The weather being fine, we went out for a picnic. Correct. Being a sunny day, I had a long walk. Incorrect. It being a sunny day, I had a long walk. Correct. The gerund. Study the following sentences. Swimming is a good exercise. Walking is good for health. The words swimming and walking are formed from the verbs swim and walk by adding ing. They are therefore like verbs. They do the work of nouns. Like nouns, they can be used as subject. A gerund is a verbal form which does the work of both a verb and a noun. The gerund is used like a noun and the participle is used like an adjective, as he is fond of swimming. Gerund. Entering the room, he greeted everybody. Present participle. The gerund is used as a subject of a verb, as walking is useful, an object of a verb, as I love reciting poems, as a complement, as the hall needs sweeping, as an object of a preposition, as he was accused of stealing. Forms of the gerund. Tense, active, passive. Present, buying, being bought, selling, being sold. Perfect, having sung, having been sung, having bought, having been bought. The gerund and the infinitive. Both the gerund and the infinitive are used in the same sense. They are formed from verbs and are used as nouns as the gerund, the infinitive. Sleeping is good for health. To sleep is good for health. Seeing is believing. To see is to believe. Gambling is bad. To gamble is bad. Selling is an art. To sell is an art. The gerund and the present participle. Both the gerund and the present participle end in ing. The former is used like a noun, while the latter is used as an adjective. The gerund, the present participle. She is fond of painting. I saw her painting. Gambling ruined his life. I found him gambling. Sleeping is necessary to health. I found her sleeping in the bed. Jogging is a good exercise. We see him jogging daily. Gerunds with possessives. Study the following sentences. Father insisted on her staying at home. I ask the favor of your doing this. We were pleased at Karthik's going there. A noun or pronoun which follows a preposition having a gerund as its object usually takes the possessive case. Pattern, subject plus verb plus gerund, etc. Subject plus verb, gerund. This boy has stopped misbehaving. It was worthwhile listening to him. Children love making mud castles. Who is responsible for breaking this mirror? Errors in the use of infinitives, participles, and gerunds. Incorrect, correct. I forbade her from going. I forbade her to go. Traveling by train, my purse was lost. Traveling by train, I lost my purse. He need not to go there. He need not go there. I stopped her to dance. I stopped her from dancing.